Okay.
Hello, everybody. It is January 12th. This is the January meeting for the Guilford Shellfish Commission. My name is Bob Berger. I'm the chairman of the commission. Present here tonight are Peter Charlin, the treasurer, John Seviak, and Don Kowalski. Anybody else here? Greg Marsh looks like one of the wardens is here, but he's just arriving. And Judy Castellano is the recording secretary. We filed a fixed agenda, which is available on the town website. Item 1 on the town agenda is the public forum. I don't believe there are any members of the public here today. Anybody here from the public? No, I don't think so. Item 2 on the agenda is minutes of the December meeting. Everybody got an email about the minutes.
Yep.
Did everybody take a look at them?
Mm-hmm.
Any changes that anybody wants to make to the minutes as they were submitted? A motion to approve the minutes as submitted then? Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. The minutes is, sorry.
Peter, I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Item 3, commercial activity and licenses. Peter, why don't you take this?
Sure. I'm going to be reviewing the recreational and commercial licenses. We have for recreational for the month $1,194 from Captain Morgan. We have 13 annual non-resident, 2 annual non-resident senior, 5 annual resident, 2 annual resident senior. For our commercial licenses, we have $117. Kim Granberry for lots 53 and 54 for 2021, year 2021. We also have $926 CW Shellfish via check. Lots 35, 36, 38, 39, 45, and 51, also 2021. As I understand from Don, he is going to be taking responsibilities for the invoicing for the commercial leaseholders, and what I'll be bringing up for approval, moving our GIS platform off the old laptop onto the town system, so that we have we simplify this whole thing going forward.
Great. And again, the commercial bills are sort of make up from last spring when they should have been sent out, but we were way behind getting that. So starting sometime soon, the bills for 2022 will go out and we'll get caught up for the coming year.
Yeah, I was hoping to do get all that reconciliation done today, Bob, but my day was a little out of control. So we do have the notes. We'll clean up 2021. We'll get 2022 billed, and subject to approval of the commission, I'm going to move the GIS onto the town system.
Okay. Yeah, the conversations that I had with the commercial guys in the last day or two regarding that, they were all fine with sort of doing the makeup billing. The only one that was not, fully aware of what had been going on was Dolan Brothers. And they did not have a problem. They were just the person, Patty, the person that I spoke to, was not at her desk when I called and didn't have everything in front of her. But
okay. They
are probably our big account.
Correct.
I say $3,000 or so a year for the lots that they have, and it may actually be more than that. It may be like $6,000 a year.
Yeah. We shipped 23 of that over to Madison, I believe, so it's in that ballpark.
Yeah, right. But I gave her the option that if it was too big of a lump sum years at once, that we would divide payment over, a certain period of time, just if they needed that extra time.
Sure.
So, and she was fine with that.
Great.
Item 4 on the agenda is bills and correspondence. Peter, that's you again.
Thank you. We have for the month for payables, Bob Berger, sampling and boat costs $86.89. Alan Brown, Warden fees, December. He had 4 dates that he was able to check on things, $160. Judy Castellano, Secretarial Services, $59.31. East River Marine, this is boat winterization, shrink wrapping, etc., $815. And Schweitzer Waste Removal for 12 Trolley Road, 3 months of $174. I do want to note, Schweitzer is almost twice the cost of other providers that I've surveyed. They increased their monthly rate from $35 to $40, and then they have another waste disposal charge that others do not charge. So subject to any disagreement from the town, I'm going to solicit an alternative provider, which should come in around $95 a quarter rather than $174 a quarter. I didn't total these, so bear with me.
Yeah, I had noticed that I mean, they're not they're not cheap. You know, for just picking up 2 cans, it's not an inexpensive cost.
It's only 1 can. It's
Oh, right. It's not
the town
just 1
picks
can.
up 146 now.
Oh,
So the
right.
total is $1,295.20 of payables for the month.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the bills as submitted?
Make a motion to approve bills as submitted.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you. Warden's reports. I think Greg Marsh, if anybody.
Yeah,
anybody else? Go
I'm here,
ahead.
Bob.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's been relatively quiet. A few people on the warmer days, but other than that, it's been quiet.
All right.
I have a report from Alan. He had, and the report's a little difficult to read, the 22nd, 24th, 30th, and 31st. You know, all okay, relatively quiet, only just a handful of clammers every day. But you know, they're the sturdy, reliable folks that will go out there in virtually any weather.
Yeah, it takes a hardy soul to go clamming.
Yep.
In December and January. I
It's
took a round.
fairly mild weather, though the water's a little cold.
Yeah. Okay, Greg. Report. Moving on to item 6, subcommittees. First subcommittee, recreation. Peter, anything?
Yeah, nothing to report.
Right. Pretty quiet time.
Yep.
Second one, water sampling. That's Mike Bowen and myself. Mike is not here tonight. Water sampling was done middle of the month. I forget the exact date. December. We are on board with the fire department boat at this time of year, so we are a little at their mercy in terms of when they can get a crew together. But again, it's January, so we're not seeing heavy rainfall problems or anything else. So we've been open, I want to say, for the last 2 months continuously. So we haven't had a closure, something like that, at least 6 weeks. I anticipate that we'll continue doing sampling, on a monthly basis without any problems. And the last water samples were fine. Next item under subcommittees is the boat. Did John Hall join us?
He's not able to. He's saying the ID is invalid.
Oh, okay. The update that I have with the boat is that it was winterized. Got it back from East River Marine. Paul Nelson actually and Greg Marsh were there to finalize adjustments to the throttle that had been out of adjustment and seemingly seems okay. It's under wraps for the winter. One thing I wanted to bring up was that We are probably going to need some new lines, ropes from the dock. They were all pretty eroded and shredded by the end of this year. I'll get John all on that. And we never replaced the sort of the cabinet doors on the back of the leaning post. It's something that's been ongoing for a couple of years, and the stuff that gets stored in there is getting pretty beat up from the weather. So I'm going to propose that we buy a piece of starboard and make some cabinet doors just to get that closed in, because the box that holds all the sample cups are in there is
Yep.
doesn't need to be replaced, but it needs to be refinished, and all the flares and everything else that's stored in there may need to be replaced because it's pretty much out in the weather.
Yeah, I mean, I was on that with Mike doing one of the stockings, and it was pretty gnarly back there. I'd suggest taking all that stuff out and power washing it, get good doors built for it, and let's just put everything new in there. I don't know how much of that even is salvageable.
Yeah, no, I mean, stuff gets wasted. It's out in the weather for 8, 9, or 10 months a year.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Okay. Just, we need to make a motion to buy the starboard. I mean, I can make the cabinet doors myself, but it would be the material is not cheap. It's probably going to be $250 or $300 for the material, for the hinges and the material. And we need to make it a motion to approve that purchase.
Yeah, Bob, I would propose authorizing an amount not to exceed $400. So not that it would need to be spent, but at least you'll not have to come back to the commission, and we'll take submit the receipts. If you need an advance, we can do so. But yes, I would propose authorizing $400 for the purposes of materials to build the doors as stated.
Any seconds on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Aye.
Stocking, nothing new on stocking. We're in the midst of winter. Nothing going on in that regard.
Is this something for anticipating springtime, that we should negotiate or place some advanced purchase in the event that there's some shortage in the spring? We usually stock again in June, if I remember.
Yeah, well, we do oysters in the spring.
Yeah.
And oysters don't seem to be the problem.
Okay.
The round clams are the hard part. We usually do a sort of a summer stocking of legal size clam, a seed clam stocking in the fall. I have not spoken to Chris Walston about it directly. I anticipate he'll be okay. He did note yesterday when I was talking to him about billing that the prices are through the roof, were his exact words. So there may be some inflation issues going on with the price of clams as well. But I'll call him and tell him, that we are going to certainly need our typical order, our 100 bags or so of clams that we usually get. That's just good. To kind of set the groundwork. Next item is finance. Peter, anything on that?
Yeah, I do have a report from the town through December. We are running on a year-to-date basis for revenues, $19,013. Our expenditures on a year-to-date basis, which is July through December, given the fiscal calendar, $27,185. So as is typical at this time of year, when we've got downswing in our revenue and some stocking expenses, just recreational stock, we've spent $21,450 in the second half of 2021. So we have a deficit of $8,172. That's the norm. We were well below budget last year. We'll be at budget this year. I anticipate it's healthy if we are over budget because we underspent last year because of the difficulty securing stock. On a year-to-date basis, though, we have a fund balance of $148,976. So even net of the current, deficit of $8,100, we have a fund balance of $140,804, and we're incredibly healthy financially. And this is all trending toward the budget forecast we put in. So I think it's good news.
Yes, I agree. Money is not our problem at this point. So
There was a comment from when I was speaking with the town folks about landing on their town GIS system, their servers, that the individual was saying, asking what costs. He goes, well, no, there's really not going to be any costs. And I said, well, I said, we're happy to do our share. He goes, yeah, on reflection, Matt Hoey always says that you guys are sitting on bundles of cash. So probably, I'm probably expecting we're going to have, it might be $500 a year rather than having to license new software and buy a computer and all that. So it's worthwhile.
Right. Well, I guess our prosperity is not a secret.
Yeah, apparently not. All right, reload this agenda again. Sorry.
Next item on the agenda is special projects. John Saviak or Peter, anything there?
I might have some stuff. I've been going through some old files, so I got some files on how they do shellfish evaluations on the Guilford shoreline. I can transmit those off to you if you're interested in reading them.
Sure, I'd like to read them. You can send them, email them to me.
All right. Yeah, I'll email them to you. It's in a PDF form, so it should be able to email pretty easy.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Some studies that have been done the last 12 years, summaries that were done like maybe 10 years ago, but they were 12 years summaries of the whole shellfish program. So
okay, I had gotten those items. The few things that you would send me after last month's meeting, which look very consistent with what we're doing right now. So I think we're in a pretty good position.
Yeah, we're in good shape. Yeah, here we are.
Okay. Peter, do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Next item is signs. That's Mike Boyan. No, that's kind of several people. Mike Bowen, myself, and Alan have not been touched since before the December meeting. I think the last week of November that we had to change the signs, something like that. I did take a ride around. Yes, it was a nice afternoon yesterday to all the areas just to make sure the signs are intact. The beaches are clean. The signs are in place and intact, and they look fine. There's no problems there. Last item is the website. Peter, anything new?
No, nothing new. There's been no changes on the town website. I am obligated to put on the website the documents I'd mentioned about applications for commercial licensing for shellfishing and or kelp farming. I do have those. I will put those up. Nothing to report on the Facebook page. We continue to have a loyal following without really exploiting and pushing our brand out there further. But as we get into do business, there's some ideas perhaps that we'll do to create more brand awareness and attraction to shellfishing in Guilford.
Great, thank you. Item 7 on the agenda, there are updates. Land Acquisition Commission is first. John Saviak, anything?
Okay, well, the town is looking at maybe 5 different properties, but mostly all inland material, nothing near the shore at all.
Okay,
that's about it. More or less, it's in executive session that they're looking at them.
Okay, and nothing that would affect directly.
Nothing affects shellfishing, no.
Okay. Sea Grant Advisory, John, have you heard anything?
I guess we had an email stating that canceling the shellfish gathering shellfish commissioners. I guess they're probably going to go virtual, but it's probably going to be a while because it takes time to put the thing into motion again.
Right, that was supposed to be for this coming weekend, I think, and
correct. Yeah, they canceled it. They canceled out because of the COVID.
Yeah, the high caseload right now is I'm sure that's a wise move.
It's way up there. Yeah, no, it's a good move. I can see myself in school. I've been substituting like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Month. to
Yeah.
work.
Next item is the harbor management. Peter?
Yeah, there's nothing new with harbor management. There was an email that came out from Fred Brisbois to harbor management. I forwarded out to you, Bob, relative to the program for the sound. That's been a state activity, but there's
Okay.
nothing happening with harbor management.
All right, thank you. Docks, moorings, or any other potentially impacting projects? Anybody? John Seviak, I think that's in report.
No report. No, nothing. No report on that.
Okay.
There.
Next item is any old business, item 8. Review of the Shellfish Management Plan. I did send an email to Alyssa yesterday, not heard back. It is business as usual. I think I said this at the last meeting, that this is an agenda item for the last several years. They are having some staffing issues on their end, so this is probably lower on their priority list until they get sort of back up to full strength. Next item is commission member status. I think we are, I'm looking at the town website now, we are full except for a vacancy slot. Yeah, there was one guy that in here previously, a guy named David Rosenthal, I think his name, a friend of Mike Bowen's, who was interested, but wasn't not completely sure that he was going to be able to commit the time due to some family commitments. So we are, at this point, we are still have an open vacancy for the alternate slot. If anybody has anybody that they want to recommend or send down, by all means, you know, the more that we get to use the help. Anybody else have anybody they want to talk about with about the commission members?
No, just we have it's a.
I got a call.
Oh, go ahead.
It's an alternate position we have open, correct?
Yes. Oh, John Hall's here. Hi, John. Can you hear me, John? Can't hear me. Okay.
You talking to me or John Siviak?
No, John Hall is here. He signed in, but he's on mute. I guess he can't hear us.
No, I'm here. I could hear you. I was going to say that I got to call Tracy because it's going to be my 8th year on the commission in April or May, because when I was appointed to the commission, I missed the very first meeting because I was in the hospital when my daughter was born, and she's going to be 8. So I got to see if where I'm at with that, just so you guys could prepare to find someone, you know, because I don't think they're going to let me stay on for more than 2 terms.
Yeah, I think we talked about this before. The website has you listed through 2023. So yeah, talk to Tracy and see what she says.
Yeah, and listen, you know, if whatever happens, I just don't want to. I don't want to cause, you know, some sort of an issue or with the committee or whatever.
Okay, thank you. Item C, the RFP process regarding new commercial lots, dual purpose lots, and in issuance of a letter of intent to lease, limited leases based on grower harvester meeting and set criteria to be used appropriate. This is in response to the kelp farming applications that we've gotten in the past 1 to 2 years. There is one kelp farm in existence, sort of in the off season. It's the gear is in the water, and there were 1 or 2 other applications that I have not heard any more about what's going on with them since probably about a year. So I don't know if that process is moving forward with the state or not. You know, if I hear back from Alyssa, if she has any further information. Anybody else heard anything about that? No. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet on the kelp farming front. There was seemed like a sort of bit of a boom there for about 3 months last spring, and interest has died off since that time. D on the agenda in this section is infrastructure funding for Long Island Sound. I have not heard anything specific. There is a Blue Plan meeting tomorrow, a Zoom meeting tomorrow that I may be able to attend, kind of how fast I get through with other things. Anybody else heard anything more about this? Peter, have you heard anything more about any of the plans?
No, I'd heard bits and pieces that there was some funding for an environmental study of, I brought it up in the last meeting. It's the entrance area to the West River where there's that erosion. It's across from Chaffinch Island.
Yep.
Grassy marsh area that's been eroding. So I understood there was several $100,000 appropriated for a study of how to restore and preserve that, so it reduces the erosion, and that there's some other activities associated with the federal infrastructure bill that is making money's making its way to various efforts around Long Island Sound.
Okay. Well, we'll have to keep our ear to the ground to see if new business.
Bob, I need a letter from you to the selectmen stating that I'm still working with the Land Acquisition Committee, that I'm still on the Shellfish Commission. They need a letter stating that I'm on the Shellfish Commission going to the Land Acquisition Committee.
Okay. Who do I send it to?
Send it to Matt Hoey.
So Matt Hoey needs a letter?
Yeah. This letter stating that I'm a member of the Shellfish Commission. I'm representing the Shellfish Commission on the Land Acquisition Committee.
Okay. You've been doing it for years, though. Did something change that you need? That they need?
I guess they want something to start the year off right, for 2022. Gary McHenry mentioned, he says he need another letter for the file.
Okay. That's easy to do. All right.
Yeah.
New business. We have been talking about getting hats for the Shellfish Commission. There's a sort of a two-pronged approach on this. I was thinking about getting hats for the commissioners, just a small run, maybe 24 hats. I've spoken to the person that I've been dealing with. We actually found a very nice hat that was on closeout. So it'll have the old logo that we've had before with the embroidered clam on the front. It says Guilford Shellfish Commission. And it's like an oilskin material. It's a really nice hat. It'd be about $20 per hat. So do we want to make a motion to approve that purchase now?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the purchase of the hats for the commission members and wardens.
I second that.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Hey, Peter, I know I came in late. I when I dropped the licenses off, the 2022 licenses off at the fishing factory in Middletown,
Yeah.
I had a couple of them that he had sold when I got the remaining licenses.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to add that to the receivables, or you want to hold on. I got to drop it off to you, but you could hold on to it till February and do it.
Yeah,
then.
drop it off anytime, because I found it, if I try to record it and I don't have the licenses and the cash, I might forget, and that happened once or twice. So I'll record it in the next month.
Within the next few days or this week, and I'll bring it to you. And if you don't mind, when I pick them up, if you can, I'm just letting you know now, just so when I come to get them, it's not I'm not bothering you. If you could portion off, just for me, the ones that I sell the folks, five resident and 5 non-resident ones. I usually sell a couple people that I know. So
yeah, while we're at new business, Bob, I just want to take a minute, because we also talked about some brand building in creating hats for the public. I have the samples here, and I've negotiated this. I'd like to kind of informally share this. I'd like to share these. if everybody can see.
I think that's great.
So yeah, so these are three different styles. We tossed around some slogans. These are the two that seemed appropriate. The third one is just kind of a Guilford Shellfish hat itself with the clam. The idea of this was kind of brand building, where it's not so much about for the commissioners or wardens, it's about selling them to the general public. Captain Morgan's is in. We may have the Fishing Factory and D's wanting to do it. The cost per hat is $16.95, including the embroidery. There's a $35 one-time fee for some of the setup. So what I'd propose to do is have 50 of each of these made. My sense is we're going to do quite well. I tossed this out on the Facebook page as well. $25 a hat. $5 is going to a charity of our choosing. We're going to name it before we put these out, either Sound School or the Allison's fund, Allison Varian Fund, that really then kind of goes back to aquaculture related activities. So we'd be selling this as a nonprofit. It's really brand building in $5 of each sale going to a charity. That still leaves us, $2-3 for the Captain Morgan's and D's and others who would sell these to be able to earn some, modest commission like they do when they sell licenses. I just wanted to get feedback on this.
So you want to propose, let's say, two styles at 50 each, so 100 hats?
I was going to propose all three, but I'm certainly,
okay.
what the commission feels appropriate. My sense is we'll sell them.
Okay. That, let's see what people think. I mean, so 150 hats at $17. I don't have my calculator here in front of me. So
I was going to ask for it not to exceed $3,000. These will be purchased through Tyco, so it's billed direct to the town.
Okay. Yeah. We have someone who wants to make a motion to approve the purchase of these hats.
Motion to approve the purchase of these fine three hats.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
Let's see what happens. I think we'll see some positive outcome of this.
Right. You'll see people
Doing good.
in line at the grocery store with a clam hat on.
Definitely.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Any other new or old business that people want to talk about? All right. I think we're on to item 10, adjournment. Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Happy
Everybody-
New Year, everybody.
Okay. Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year. Take care.
Happy New Year, guys. Sorry I was late.
Yep.
Thank
Stay
you,
healthy.
guys.
Be well.